In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect Salesforce and Google Calendar using Claude Code so that my meetings that are living in Salesforce show up on my Google Calendar automatically. No custom integration code, just two MCP servers and Claude acting as the bridge between them. So let's get into it. So here's the idea. Claude Code can talk to external tools through something called an MCP, a Model Context Protocol. I've got two MCP servers set up, one for Salesforce, which reads my meetings, and one for Google Calendar, which writes the events. Claude sits in the middle. It reads from Salesforce, figures out what's new, and then creates the matching calendar events for me. All the rules for how it should behave live in this Claude MD file here, which Claude Code reads automatically. The key rule here, it always shows me a preview and waits for my approval before it ever touches my calendar. And I just want to throw it out there that I didn't create this Claude MD file manually. I prompted Claude Code to generate it for me. So the prompt I used to generate this Claude MD file was generate a Claude MD for a project that syncs my Salesforce meetings to Google Calendar using MCP. One way, preview before writing, and never create duplicates. And then after sending that prompt, Claude generated the Claude MD file and then dropped it in my project folder. This Claude MD file matters because it's essentially the brain of the whole thing. It gets the rules for this process right here in plain English so that every time I run this process, it'll behave the same way. So let's jump into how this is set up. First, let me prove both servers are actually connected. So I'll run the MCP command. So you can see I have 4 MCP servers, 1 for Salesforce and 3 for Google. But most importantly for this video, the calendar one right here. So although I already have mine set up, I'm going to show you the prompts you can use to set yours up. So for the Salesforce MCP, you'll prompt set up the Salesforce MCP server using my authenticated Salesforce CLI. So the Salesforce CLI part is something you'll need to do beforehand. And then for the Google Calendar, we'll use this prompt right here. And then for both of those prompts, you'll just answer any follow-up questions. So once you have both of those MCPs established, you can go back to the MCP command and you should see them connected here. All right, so now the fun part. So you'll see in my Salesforce calendar that I have 2 meetings set up for this week. And then if we go to next week, I have 2 next week as well. And then if we jump to my Google Calendar, you'll see that I have no meeting invites for this week or next week. So in the terminal, I'm going to prompt sync my Salesforce meetings to Google Calendar per the Claude MD file. So right now it's calling the Salesforce server and pulling my upcoming meetings. I'm going to select yes. All right, so the process has stopped. It informs me that there's no existing events in the target calendar, and then below it provides a sync plan. So again, nothing has been written yet. So the plan is to create these 4 meeting events down here. These are the ones that are in Salesforce. So again, this is that safety gate that's defined in the Claude MD file. It's not going to go ahead and do anything until I approve. So down here, I'll prompt yes, go ahead and apply. All right, so it's done running. It created all 4 events. So let's navigate to Google Calendar. And as you can see, we have 2 meeting events this week and 2 meeting events next week. So the calendar sync was successful. So here's the part that actually matters for something that you'd run every day. What happens if you run this again? You wouldn't want to have duplicate events created. So let's try to prompt it again, sync my Salesforce meetings to Google Calendar. All right, so that's done running. You can see that all 4 Salesforce events already exist in the Google Calendar. So all 4 were skipped, which is great because that means no duplicates. And that's what would make this safe to run on a schedule. So that's it. 2 MCP servers, Salesforce and Google Calendar, Claude Code as the bridge, and the Claude MD file holding the rules. It offers a preview before it updates anything, and it won't create duplicates when it runs again. And this is really just the starting point. Everything you saw me do by hand here, you could hand off to an agent, one that syncs your calendar automatically in the background and handles the rest of the administrative busy work too, logging activities, updating records, prepping your daily meeting brief. For this video, I kept a human in the loop so you could see how it works, but the same building blocks lets you take the human out of the loop entirely once you trust it. So that's all I have for this video. Thank you all for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.